ABC 7 News, this is a breaking news alert.
Breaking news right off the top here at 6 o'clock. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia dead at the age of 79. Brilliant, sometimes controversial, always conservative. Let's get right to Rich Reeve, who is following this breaking news from the live desk. Rich, do we know how he died?
Yeah, natural causes, they're saying, Kimberly. The U.S. Marshal Service confirmed Scalia's death shortly before 4 this afternoon. The authorities believe the 79-year-old Associate Justice, as we said, died of natural causes. He was visiting a private residence in the Big Bend area of South Texas. A U.S. Marshal Service spokesperson says Scalia arrived at that ranch on Friday and attended a private party with about 40 people. Now, when he didn't appear for breakfast, someone went to his room and found the body. A federal official who's asked not to be named says there's no evidence of foul play. Now, Texas Governor Greg Abbott released a statement this afternoon calling Scalia, quote, a man of God, a patriot, and an unwavering defender of the written Constitution. Scalia was nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court in 1986 by President Ronald Reagan. Again, Justice Antonin Scalia dead at age 79. Live in the newsroom, Richard Reeve, ABC 7 News.
Rich, thank you for the latest there. Joining us now to talk more about this is ABC 7 national correspondent Scott Thuman. Scott, the political fallout from this is enormous, potentially.
Yeah, and it's something we saw almost instantly. We saw a tweet from Ted Cruz saying that the next appointee should be something that's decided by the next president. And he is going to, when I say he, I mean President Obama, he is going to face really fierce opposition on this one. The president, of course, would like to put someone in there that he feels is going to continue the legacy of his administration,
right,
that's going to follow up and defend things like Obamacare, like gay marriage, other issues that were keystone in this administration. What he's going to face, though, are a lot of Republicans, especially on the Senate side, who have a lot of the power here, and they are going to say, we should wait for the next president. It is prudent. You're a lame duck, and you should not have such power, even though, by the books, he does.
Even if the president, though, tries to push this through, is there any way he can? I
believe he can. You know, he has the ability, and timing-wise, it's not something that's out of the realm of possibility. Remember, we still have, everyone thinks election, you think November. President Obama's in office till January of 2017. That's basically a year. There is no reason time-wise he shouldn't be able to do that.
You look politically, though, at the spectrum. I mean, Supreme Court Justice Scalia couldn't be farther apart from President Obama.
He was a leading intellectual voice for the conservatives. He was often seen as someone who would stand his ground, even though it might not be politically correct, on the issues of gay marriage, on the issues of Obamacare. He typically was very conservative. He was blunt. He wasn't worried about what people would think of his language and his tone. And as a result, he was considered one of the stalwarts for the conservative voice. Remember, he was appointed by President Ronald Reagan.
Right.
And so to replace this person in Scalia, in Justice Scalia, with someone that is not of that same mindset, that's where you see backlash. It happens every time you have to replace someone on the Supreme Court. This one, because it's an election year, the argument will be on steroids. It will be at such a high level with passion, emotion, and political toughness involved that we should expect quite a fight between Congress and this administration, and you can bet this will overtake the conversation for quite some time.
Now, we're diving right in, of course, to the impact here. You have to remember, too, the Scalia family is a local family, 9 children raised in McLean. Their son, Paul, is a priest who practices in Arlington. I played soccer with daughter Mary at Langley High School, and the Supreme Court Justice himself gave our graduation speech at Constitution Hall. And I just read on Twitter, another reporter said the Supreme Court Justice just recently gave a graduation speech. So a very active member of our community.
And what you're touching on should not be lost on our viewers or anyone who is just learning this news. And that is that, first and foremost, we need to take a breath and recognize what just happened.
Right.
This is a sitting Supreme Court justice who just passed away. It is very natural in this town, above all towns, for politics to quickly try and take the headlines. And they have. But that doesn't mean we need to stop for a moment and reflect on the fact that a Supreme Court justice has just passed away.
Right.
That's the headline here today.
Condolences and sympathy to the Scalia family tonight. Now, please do stay with ABC 7 and WJLA.com for continuing coverage of the death of Antonin Scalia.